Good evening, good afternoon, good night. Hi, how you guys doing? Welcome to my late night live stream. Guess what? I think I got alerts working. If someone could follow or gift, or donate some money or something. Actually, I don't think donations are working. But I got follows, I think subs, cheering should work. All the important things. Just dropped the baby off at daycare. Hey, that's awesome. Arrow, do you guys get like free daycare there? Is that like government funded? I need to shave my mustache so bad it like keeps getting in my mouth and it drives me nuts. No, you guys pay for it? Fair enough, I just wondered. We get a big discount through the government. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That's huge. They pay like half. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, really huge. I don't know what we're doing tonight. I think we were working on the calendar system last, and then we decided to open up the other level, and that was a huge mistake, if I remember correctly. And Nada's workplace also pays a good portion, actually, so we don't have to pay much. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. That is handy. We have new day stuff happening. Were we actually like randomizing events in here? Oh, we have. I think we didn't save before we opened the other level, which is weird because usually it prompts to save when you do that, but I feel like I wouldn't have. Oh man, I don't remember what we were doing. This is our global event manager. We were doing a thing, and then there was stuff, and there was another thing happening. I don't remember what we were doing. I don't know if tonight's the night to work on this anyway, because I don't know if I can focus on that tonight. I've been sculpting all day and making LODs, which was a huge waste of my time, turns out. I forgot that Unreal had like built-in LODs, like you can like set up auto LODs, and they have Nanite now, which we already had set up, but Nanite was acting kind of weird with my sculpts, and I don't know why. Probably because I didn't have enough polygons, but yeah, so I spent like 2 hours setting up like LODs for all these hairstyle sculpts I was doing for Trail and Error, and then they were like just, I don't know, it was a huge pain. And then I went into Unreal and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I can just set up auto LODs on these, and the auto LODs honestly like were just set up and worked so much easier and faster. So I pretty much threw away all the like 3 or 4 extra LODs I made for all the hairstyles and just went with the base one, but it's whatever. So that's what I did all day. So I don't know if I want to, I don't know. I kind of want to do some programming. I'm very tempted to keep playing with the survival game tonight, since we're doing a late stream. I meant to stream this morning too. Yeah, probably two actually. I was considering streaming twice today. But we had an appointment, a dentist appointment for Quinn today. Poor kid. Has some pretty bad cavities. We have been brushing very consistently, but he's still got these cavities that just keep getting worse. And now we're at the point where it's like the only option really left is to do anesthesia and fix them, like cap them. So poor kid. So we have we're getting a second opinion just in case first. So we're doing that tomorrow. And then on next Friday we're doing that. So we'll see what happens. His daycare is this lady who lives on a farm, so they get to help take care of farm animals. Oh my, are you kidding me? You know how much that would cost out here in the United States? That's crazy. That's huge. Usually spend most of the day outside. Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats. That's very, very cool. Also, hi John. Sorry, I did see you come in. Sorry I didn't say hi to you. Specifically, didn't say hi to you specifically. I did say hi to everyone in general, but life has changed a lot for me. I was one of the people that asked about getting some lessons, then joined your Discord like a year or more ago. Don't think I'm gonna learn code anymore. Uh-oh, why is that? Is it not your cup of tea, or did something else come up? John, you reached a 3-stream streak. Congratulations. What do you guys want to do? Should we work on Swords of Magic? Should we dig through this and figure out what the heck's wrong with it? And build this calendar system? Or should we go goof around in the other project? Jana and I were looking at, Steam just announced a whole bunch of events for the year, like Steam festivals that they're doing. I can't say what they are or when they are, but as we were reading through them, I was like, oh my god, I want to make that game. I want to make a game like that. I want to make a game like that. And I was like, what if we just changed our entire business model for Kindred Games and we just literally made games with a deadline of the Steam festival coming up for that genre of game we're making? And Jana just laughed at me, but I think she was on board. I'm more focused on health now, wanting to clean up and focus on learning, love, and discipline. Hey, that's respectable. I get that. Yeah, health is one of those things that I've very much been neglecting the last few years, and I need to get back on it. I haven't been to the doctor in a while. I'm gonna be 38 next month. No, not next month, in April. And I feel like I should probably start going to see a doctor every year. Just, for a little checkup and do a physical and get blood work done and stuff. I went to a doctor a few years ago for that very thing, and everything I had a clean bill of health, except the doctor was like, you really need to go get some blood work done. And I was like, I don't want to do that today. So I went home and I never got it done. I just never went and got the blood work done. So I don't know. I feel pretty good otherwise, though. I'm definitely getting a little bit of a gut as I'm getting older. I know my eating habits aren't perfect. It's difficult when Jana's really picky and we have 2 kids who are pretty picky. Though Quinn surprised me. We actually did sandwiches for dinner a couple nights ago, like at home, like Subway sandwich, like hoagie sandwiches. And he wanted everything I put on mine, which is a lot of stuff, like pickles, banana peppers, onions, lettuce, oil and vinegar. I don't know what else, turkey, cheese, whatever. He wanted everything I had, and I was like, okay. So I made him this big ass sandwich, and I thought for sure there was no way he's gonna eat any of it, and he ate like the whole thing. He loved it, so that was a good sign. Not even Abby put that much stuff on her sandwich. Video games are fun and even though I still find myself playing them, they aren't a great use of time. At least I feel this way. No fault to you for making them. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I know I make video games, but that doesn't mean I think everyone needs to play them. I totally get that. And I also think that like it's like anything, you need to do it in moderation, right? Sorry, the music's like really imbalanced. Anyway, if they're in the way of your life in a certain way, then yeah, let's cut them out. I get it. That's totally fine. And now the music's really loud. Sorry. Hey, what's up, A-Night? Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? But yeah, I've had a lot of people come in and they were like, not a lot, but like there's been a handful of people who have wrote me and told me like that they were going through a rough time or whatever, and like Swords and Magic really helped them like just like find some happiness for a little while and kind of forget about life while they could like, get their head straight. And then yeah, and I think video games are great for that kind of stuff, right? Like sometimes you just need an escape, and games can help you do that. Then again, it's similar to like anything else, like I like to have a drink every once in a while, but if I drink every single time I didn't have a great day or whatever, like I would probably be an alcoholic, So I totally get it, Like video games are a good escape, but you don't always want to rely on them. I'm not going to doctors, at least larger corporate ones. Part of this change I'm going through is rooted in what people want to call conspiracy theory, yet the very term was made to discredit. Oh my, that took a turn. Riffin. What's up, Polyferret? Welcome in. Yeah, that took a little bit of a turn. I mean, the reason that something is called a conspiracy theory is because there's no evidence for it, right? So I wouldn't say that conspiracy theories were just created as a way to discredit legitimate people or practices, right? I would say that conspiracy theory, the term was invented to label something that people believed with no evidence. So I don't know. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. You do whatever you want to do, right? Obviously, but like, yeah, I mean, I would highly recommend just going to doctors. You know, I think that's important. I think the fact that like we have science and we've studied like the human body for a long time and we know a lot of stuff about it, and then to ignore that information is a little dangerous. But you know, that's just my 2 cents. Not true, actually. It was a term made by the CIA to discredit non-mainstream thought. It was literally made by them, not the people. And how do you know this? My night's going well so far. I'm gonna have to refill my drink here very soon, though, if we keep talking about conspiracy theories. Anyway, we have a random events thing. I think we have a current calendar event we want to plug into this. Handle daily random events. I think we decided we were going to do a for each loop on this, so we can loop through all of our random events. These are should be set to like, these are just daily random events. And then we want to know if we can trigger each one. Okay, that resolved a couple things. We have a current event here. I wonder if we should, let's see. I don't think we actually ever got this set up. Promote to local variable. Sounds like a conspiracy theory. Oh, sounds like you were reading some anti-vaxxer conspiracy thingy. Yeah, I don't know. I am a big fan of science here. There are released files, but I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole here. I have been reading a book on Qigong. I don't know what that is. So I'm learning about, Qi, got it, Qigong. About Qi and natural remedy. You know, I don't see any problem with that. I don't. And if you don't have like a medical issue that needs to be treated by a medical professional, then there's no reason to go to one if you feel like you don't need one. So I'm fine with that. I do think going to the doctor when you have an issue is important. That's really my only issue with like kind of backwater, like religious kind of things and stuff like that. Like, I think if people want to do that kind of stuff, then go for it. But as long as they're not like harming their children or people by neglecting them or whatever, by ignoring like doctors and things like that. But yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable if you want to explore things like that. Sure. Okay, we need to replace all these. We should just drag them in. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure in UE4 we can't just replace them by dragging them over them, which you should be able to do. I'm pretty sure you can't. Pretty sure you can't here because it just doesn't work. Okay, save that. Okay, I think we fixed our stuff. This one I shouldn't have touched anything in. This should just work. Close this. Like Mormonism? Sure. I don't want to step on too many toes, but yeah. We try to keep our chat like inclusive of everyone, like, you know, regardless of beliefs. And we usually don't talk about them, but it is a late night stream and I am willing to bend the rules a little bit. My cousin was actually married in the Mormon temple. I, on the other hand, am an atheist and I do not believe in that. But my cousin is an amazing person and I don't think she believes anymore that she's now divorced. So if that says anything about it. But I don't know how like devout she was at the time. Apparently pretty devout if she got married in the temple, but still. Well, also, if you've been paying attention to things that have been going on, there are consistent accounts of theories being confirmed true. I mean, screw it, I'll bite. Which theories? I believe in quantum fluctuations. Sure. I'm not sure the definition there or what I believe, but sure. You have to be pretty devout to be married in the Mormon temple. Yeah, you do. From what I understand, yeah. Her husband was very, very devout. I think she was just kind of going along with it because she really liked him. But he's kind of a dick now, and I mean, he kind of always was, but he very much is now and has moved on. And they've been divorced for a couple years now. I'm considered an agnostic atheist. For sure. Yeah. You know what drives me nuts is when people say they're just agnostic. And I'm like, that's like saying you're, I don't know, like you're a vanilla. You know what I mean? It's like agnostic is just it's an adjective, right? You have to put something on the end of it. You're either an agnostic like theist or an agnostic atheist. So try to stay away from nihilism. Yeah. Chemtrails, various accounts of people have literally gone to the places where they land and asking them to stop. They just tell the person to contact the companies. Okay. Sure. Anyway, yeah, I was agnostic for a long time as well. I don't claim to know anything. Which I guess also kind of makes me agnostic, but I don't know. I'm very much in the camp of like I don't really believe any of that. But like I also don't care if people do. Like my best friend for like I don't even know 15, 18 years, I think 20 years maybe, somewhere around there, like 15 to 20 years, somewhere in there. Was very much very Christian, and early on in our like friendship we got into a lot of debates over it because I was just becoming an atheist and I was very militant at the time. And now that I'm older, I just don't care. Like, you can believe what you want to believe. I 100% support you, and I do my very best not to step on any toes, and I try not to say things that would like hurt someone's feelings, because like I understand that belief. Like my grandma has lost a daughter. My aunt passed away. Which was actually my cousin I was just talking about, it's her mom. Anyway, but she very much believes that she will meet her one day again, right? Like she has to believe that. Otherwise, I don't think she could like function if she didn't believe that. She thought she was just gone forever and that was the end of it. And I'm fine with that. Like I'm glad she has that hope to hang on to and believe in, you know, and I do not argue with it because that's not my place, right? So I think some people need that, and that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. As long as it's not hurting other people, that's kind of my where I draw the line, right? And that's what I meant is like if your religion is like causing you to neglect your children because you don't want to like bring them to the doctor because you believe that, you know, prayer is gonna save them or something, and make their broken leg better or whatever, then like that's where I draw the line. Like you cannot neglect your children or harm other people with your belief. Live and let live, and I'm okay with it. Anyway, one was being sold with the job being offered. Also, various flight patterns that are looped over cities for no reason. Yeah, I don't know what these conspiracy theories are proving, but sure, or what this is evidence of. But all right, there's obviously a reason. People aren't like flying around cities for no reason unless they're just, you know, practicing flying. But again, that's a reason. So anyway, whatever. Ad break is starting. A-Night, you're at YouTube. You're in YouTube. You don't have to worry about the ad breaks. Right now, I'm working on a calendar system for Swords and Magic, but I'm tempted to not work on this tonight because I don't know if I can focus on it. Clearly. So I'm mostly working on polishing off this glass of whiskey. Anyway, we have a new month here. We know this. We need to randomize the events. We actually built this. Roll new calendar. Clear the current calendar. Roll through this. Okay, I'm glad this stayed built because I remember we went back and forth on how this was going to work. We add events to the first of the array, and then we subtract the remaining days. No, we add the remaining days left in the potential month array, and then we fill those with void, and then we shuffle it. And then once we have our shuffled event calendar, now on our daily events, we can use that to roll each event. But those events should just like load no matter what. That's just, they're just daily events. So I guess we have handle daily random events. We roll these random events, which are again random things. So where are we handling this? Let's go clear global daily events, handle daily random events. I don't think we're doing hourly events yet right now. And then we need to handle calendar events. And let's just drop this guy in right here. Look at us, we're focusing, we're doing stuff. Can you believe this? Are you creating seasons? No, there's already seasons. Well, yes. Sorry, yes, we are creating seasons, and there's not seasons. I don't know why I said that. We don't have seasons right this second, but we do have everything built for them to work. I think, I believe, I hope. In fact, we need to set that up as well to change the season. That's not what I was working on today, but we could do that. So we have this season, I believe. Yeah, so we can like literally change this. This starts at 0, and we can like literally say, oh, it's the first day of winter. So there's gonna be 4 months in the year, 20 days in each month, and each day is 24 minutes long. I don't remember how long we figured that out. It was gonna be a long time. Do fantasy seasons? Nope, just spring, summer, fall, and winter. Nothing super fun or fancy. But anyway, this will like slowly fill. We'll start snowing, right? We'll trigger like a snowstorm at the first of the month just to get some snow on the ground, and then we will trigger this to slowly fade in until we're up to 1, and then we will have snow over the ground, which will be cool. I wasn't up to the live time yet. What the hell? I missed like 4 minutes. Oh, and I hate when I do that. I did that the other day on Twitch. I like paused the stream talking to Jana or something, and I lost like 5 minutes. And when I came back and hit play, it didn't just automatically kick me back to the live time. So I was like asking all these questions and like talking to. I was talking to Worka, who I'm working with on some contract work. So I was like talking about all these solutions and stuff, and he's like not answering me and then saying like weird stuff, and I'm like answering him, and then I realized I wasn't live, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so stupid. I lost like 5 minutes. So yeah. How do you do that snow? Like stamps, or is it a mesh? It is not a mesh, and it's not stamps. It is a material mask with a, I believe it's just like noise, and we're just ramping up the level of the noise from 0 to 1. So it's just like it's like a noise pattern. So if you like look up, it's probably repeating. So it's just like a noise pattern. As we crank it up, we're probably just multiplying it by a full value. I'm not actually sure exactly how we're doing it. We could look it up. I didn't do it. I didn't build this. But that's basically how it works. You can kind of see patterns in it if you look closely. But yeah, it's just a noise on the grass material. So we just like combine it with the grass material and then set up like that. It's pretty cool. And this is we have a snow mask radius. I think season color foliage. So one issue we're going to run into is when we start working on Bone Reach, we don't want snow there for obvious reasons. And snow right now doesn't work in Azura. So if I turn this up again, oh, okay, well, it is showing up here. I think in game it doesn't show up here when you turn this on. I don't know why that is though. We have a snow mask radius. I don't know what this means. Does this change if I change this? It doesn't. I wonder if that's part of the Azura thing. I don't know. This might be changed dynamically for Azura in game, but I'm not sure. Because we don't get snow there. But anyway, we'll be, I don't know how to do this yet, but we will learn we'll figure out how to do it. And then just cancel. I don't need to check it out. We'll figure it out. Looks like it has a world direction or something to affect top only. Yeah, it probably does. The grass already does that anyway. That's how we have grass here. Or not here, I mean, you know what I mean. That's how we have grass on just the top of these hills. This isn't painted in here. This is actually like just automatically done. Same with this hill right here. So the grass only affects those. Oh, and then we also have snow on tops of these. So I guess you're right. We do have, this must be, yeah, I don't remember how we did this. It's not just on the grass. I think this material, yeah, we just have a GC material, which is ground cover, so the snow affects it. That's how we do it. Anyway, I think it'll be cool the first time it snows and like you can see that the ground start changing though. And we will do that right here on new month. We'll check to see if it's if the month is. Honestly, I think what we're going to do is actually just get date here. Because this is just going to be... We're going to need this anyway to know if we should do snow. Should we figure this out right now? Should we just set it up so it starts snowing? So this is where we need to randomize the events. We need to grab our global event manager. I think we have this. Oh, we just get it from the game state. All new calendar month. Let me get caught up in the chat. Sorry, guys. It's a perfect time for me, middle of the day. What's up, Mega Killer? That's enough of that for me anyway. Yeah, fair enough. I had the grass around 80%. How do you do that on snow? It's like stamps. There's something based on sciences. The blue light on electronics is bad for your brain. The reason is because your memory is made from light made by your neurons. This blue light overpowers it. I haven't heard that it's bad for your memory. Yeah, definitely haven't heard that. It's bad. I mean, I know that it messes with your like circadian rhythm. It like helps produce whatever it is that wakes you up. I used to use a like a blue light filter app for a long time, but I haven't used it in a long time. I used to also stay up really late working, and I don't do that as much anymore. So I guess I'm changing that now. So we'll see what happens. Also been working on lots of fantasy story making, mostly revolving around some anime tropes. That's cool. What kind of anime tropes? There's our drink, all gone. Okay, so we're rolling the new month. We need to, now this is where we need to do seasons. We're gonna have to build in the event graph here, make a new timeline. Add timeline. I don't know why my brain thought new. This is gonna be season change. I actually wonder if we already have one of these. We have changed season on the sky sphere. we have a timeline for it and everything. That's perfect. It changes for 10 seconds. Should we do 10 seconds? Or should we do more than that? I feel like it'd be cool if it just changed over the course of like a minute while it was snowing. Let's just change this to 60 seconds. We need to change this to 60 as well. I just feel like that'll look better if it just like kind of gradually fills up. I think that'll look a lot better than it just suddenly it's snowing. What does this do? Changing some color stuff. Oh, probably for like the grass and stuff and trees, I assume. Season ground color. That's interesting because I don't think we have different ground color for like fall and stuff, but we could. Winter. Yeah, we're lerping from 0 to 1 for the snow. That's how that is. Okay, cool. It's so nice when this kind of stuff is just built and we just never used it. Cool. I wonder if we should just trigger snow falling here then. This is so this is multicast. Not a fan of it being multicast because that means that if players come in after, I guess the season will change, so it'll just load in that season. Where is this being called from? I wonder if we're using this anywhere. It doesn't look like it. But I don't know if I like that it's multicast. I feel like we should do this with a rep notify. I guess we call this with a rep notify. No. We could do a rep notify for the season, which we might actually be doing already. Oh, not even replicated. We could do a rep notify for it, and then instead of calling a multicast in there, we could call a run on owning client. And I think that would mean, excuse me. I think that would mean that if someone came into the game late, obviously, which everyone's going to do, it would just trigger that for them right then. But that would also mean they would trigger like the 60-second like season change right then, which I don't want to do every single time you log in. I think we'll call the multicast event, and I think this is always relevant anyway. It's not. Is it even replicated? Not even replicated. Then how is this going to even do anything? Will multicast even work if it's not replicated? GPT. If your memory is based on light, if you shine a brighter light over it, it's harder for your neurons to make those connections that seek light. How could your memories be based on light? I mean, maybe I just don't understand this, but I don't think they're based on light. I think it's like electricity in your head, right? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think we know well enough how this works. But I don't think it's light because everything in your head is going to be pitch black. Unless you're saying like your visual memory, like things you visually remember because you've seen them, is based on light. In which case, of course, yes. But your memory that's like getting stored isn't based on light, right? Am I crazy? I'm supposed to ask GPT about if a non-replicated actor. We're gonna ask it. I was gonna change gears. Electricity and chemicals, I believe. Yes, thank you. Hey, what's up, Boob? You're up late. Mess with your sleep cycle because light at all creates a catalyst for wakefulness in the brain. Yes, that's true. But if you use like a yellow light, it's less. So not yellow light. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Can a non-replicated actor trigger a multicast? No. Only works if it's called in the server and the actor is replicated. So this won't even work anyway. This will only work locally, which is fine. We can just call this somewhere else as a local thing. But the problem is that we kind of need to replicate the season here. It's crazy to me that the sky sphere isn't... Is this even the sky sphere we're using? Yeah. So it's crazy to me this isn't replicated. I guess that's... Oh, no, yeah, it can't be replicated. The reason it's not replicated is because we don't want players... We want players to be able to change it when they go to places that don't have a sky. The sky sphere can change locally for each player. So if you go into the... whatever it's called, the... oh my god. The astral plane. There's no sun there, so we blot out the sun. We turn off the sun locally. So yeah, we have to keep this, can't replicate this. So we need to store the season on this is a little wild to me because we are setting the season. This is really stupid. Why would we do it this way? Why aren't we just setting this? Like, we have a delay for 5 seconds on winter, but I don't know why we would do that. Or else are we setting the season changing? Okay, so I have this feeling that the reason we didn't use this... We have season changing here, okay. I don't know. It's fine. We can't make this replicated. So not replicated, that's fine. Sky sphere, what about sky cube? Yep, should be a sky cube. A tiny flash of light on the tip of your neuron. Okay. Okay, GPT says, I asked, is your memory made up of light? GPT says, short answer, no. Long answer, kind of, but not in the sci-fi way. When data moves across fiber optic cables between... Wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. It thought I was asking about GPT's memory, which makes sense. I shouldn't have asked it that way. I said is your... assuming humans, but like, yeah, not humans. Human memory is not made of light either, but light does play a role in how some memories form. Neurons connect to each other at junctions called synapses. When you learn to remember something, those connections get stronger or weaker. Repeated activity changes the structure and chemistry of those connections. patterns of strengthened neural connections and altered synapses. It's electrochemical, not luminous. Where light comes in, vision, light hits your retina, converted to electrical signals, processed by your brain, stored as visual memory. Circadian rhythm, optogenetics. Researchers can literally use light to, yeah. So, okay. So GPT could be wrong. It didn't even give me references or anything, but this is what I remember learning, and this seems to be the common understanding of how the brain works. There's no light in your brain going on. There's synapses, like triggering electrical like connections that strengthen. Anyway, every time I go back to a project with a blueprint, I ask myself the same thing. Why did I do this? Yeah. So I didn't do this. This was built early days, probably when we first set up. This was probably like the first month of the project, actually. This is like ancient stuff here. This was probably like, I say the first month of the project. I mean like the first month after release, probably. But it actually might have been before that. I don't think we had seasons and stuff set up yet at all until we did. I don't know. Looks like our moon phase is working correctly in here. We're just binding an event to the new moon phase. So I think we just need to bind an event to the new season. And then we'll just do the same thing. Oh, looks like we're already doing this. Simulate seasons. If it's false, we just set the season to season. But this shouldn't be handling season changing though, so I don't think that this is actually, that's not what I want to do. I want to do find references. Yeah, it's not used anywhere else, so this doesn't really matter. But I assume this is false. Yeah, so we don't want to do this, but I don't think there's ever going to be a situation where we want to do a build where we're not simulating seasons again after the calendar system comes out, so I don't even think we need to like keep this boolean around. I think instead of doing this, because we're obviously setting the season at the beginning of the game, which is a little wild. Actually, what is this doing? Oh, we're just setting it right away. So this could all probably just go away, and instead we could just put on here a bind event to our time manager, which we're already doing here. I guess we could just do it back here, where we need to listen for season changes. So we need to make that, which means we need to store, we have a current holiday event as well, which is what's also important. We also need to be turning that on and off, but that's for our like event system to handle, I think. Oh, this is going to be annoying, because we got to store the season in here since this is being replicated. We're going to make this a rep notify. And then the rep notify will call that locally on everyone's machine. So we don't need that, which is nice. And we don't need... Where are we doing that? Not on New Day. Was it New Day? Yes. New month. Roll calendar event. So we need to check here if the month equals 3. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. We'll use the month to set the season. I'm going to do a select here. I could probably just plug this in, but I would rather just do a select so we have, just so I know what's happening. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Cool. We're now triggering that. Oh, I've scrolled up and I had missed chat. Sorry, hang on. Someone's chat tonight. Sorry, I must have confused them. I started reading Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes, and he actually makes a note of that. The idea of memory and imagination being current and memory being past. Obviously, but that memories compound and create false imaginations of the past due to overlapping details, sometimes even resulting in a twisted image of oneself, overlapping imaginations of others. Pointless to really bring up. I just thought it was fun to think about because it's in older English. Sure. Yeah, I think our brains are crazy things. It's weird because we really only experience, like, I don't know, like our reality is only what we can experience through our eyes and ears and our senses, right? So like everything could be totally different. And then we experience it. Like, I think my favorite one to bring up, and I actually brought this up with my daughter the other day. She's 11. And this, I don't know if this like clicked for her or not. She acted like I was an idiot, and she obviously always knew this, but she's 11, so she does that a lot. But the idea that like one person's red is not gonna be every person's red, right? And I honestly, I partially think that people who have like a better eye for color, like they're more creative and they can like do more color stuff. First of all, I do think this can be learned. But I think some people are just like naturally good at it. And I think it's just because they are just dealt a lucky like perception of what colors are, that so they match better together. You know what I mean? And this could, I don't know, this could be totally off too. Maybe this isn't how this works at all. But it's just, that's one of my theories. But I don't know, it's just, it is kind of weird that like red to me, it might not be red to you guys. And it probably isn't. Ad break is starting soon. Color is fascinating. Yeah. I always thought it'd be really cool if like a new color was discovered. And actually, I actually read a thing the other day that a new color was discovered. But like when I looked into it more, it was like, it's like a really vibrant cyan. And I'm like, that's not a new color. That's just a vibrant cyan. That's not a whole new color. Like, I want to see a brand new like primary color, you know? Which is what's really cool is that we literally can't even imagine that. Like, I love the idea that we literally cannot imagine a new color. Color is a perception, not a physical thing. Everything is the wavelength it is. You only perceive a color as you have been taught it is that color. Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that we all perceive them differently. I knew someone who didn't have the blue cone, so things that were blue looked purple to him. Yeah. Could they even see purple at that point? You had to have blue to see purple, right? I mean, I don't know. I think my earlier message about boom barrels broke Kindred's brain. Sorry, Oop, I didn't see a message about boom barrels. Oh, there it is. If you use boom barrels to propel someone, and they are propelled towards an enemy, and hit said enemy, would you essentially have made a gun and or cannon? Yes. Essentially, yes. That is exactly what you have made. Oh my god, that reminds me. There's a board game. It's called Freelancers. I think I brought it up yesterday. Wait, no, I brought it up to Polyfair in a DM, but not to anyone else. Anyway, it's a board game. It's very similar to like it's kind of like a tabletop RPG, but like more board game than TTRPG, I guess. But anyway, one of the classes you can be is a gunslinger, and I was like, that kind of fits the persona of like what I'm kind of envisioning this character to be, so that's cool, I'll do that. So I did gunslinger, only to find out about 5 minutes into the actual game that a gunslinger in this world is a person who collects ancient firearms, like pistols from the old world. So like, you know, Smith and Wessons, whatever, but they're not working, right? And then they literally sling them at enemies. They throw them. So they have like bandoliers full of guns, and then they just throw them at people. And that's how I did combat the whole game, is throwing weapons at people. And I thought that was just absolutely hilarious. It was just kind of perfect. In fact, I even had like a stare down with another gunslinger at one point. And instead of saying anything, I just kept giving them like the stink eye, and they just got more and more pissed. And then eventually they threw all of their guns at me and missed. And then I threw my gun at them and won. And I won the fight. And then I got a prize, which was a box of guns. And then I did more damage with my guns. I don't know. It was hilarious. It's a really good game. It's pretty fun. He was missing a cone. I just remember he couldn't see blue, so I guess his brain was trying to interpret it. Right. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's interesting. But I guess to him, like, if he told you, like, yeah, I don't see blue, I can only see purple, that doesn't mean anything to us. You know what I mean? Like, because his blue, I don't know. That's weird. Anyways, ad break started. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Okay, what we're going to do, it's only 11:30. We have like another probably hour and a half or so before I feel guilty about not going to... No, probably 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 hours. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. So let's give this another little longer. I actually want to try to get the season change working. Let's get that working. And then I want to... switch to the other project. I figure as long as I get a little bit of work done Swords of Magic today and make some progress, then I'm happy with that.
Maverick _1217 just followed.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't think we need our alerts read to us every time, but thank you so much for the follow. Big long name I'm not going to read back. Hold on. Maverick, thank you. It seemed a lot longer because we had to read out every single number. Maverick, thanks for the follow. Sorry, so I haven't had alerts working in for like a couple weeks now because for some reason Streamlabs alerts are just broken for me, and I literally cannot figure out how to fix them. I'm doing everything that they say to do, and it's still not working. So I finally just set up like official Twitch alerts from the Twitch like dashboard, and they work apparently. But I guess I turned on text to speech, and that may have been a mistake. Makes me wonder what color he was actually seeing. Yeah, cause like what he would think was purple clearly couldn't be purple to you because purple has a lot of blue in it, right? So I don't know, that's interesting. Bane Trapper, another day, another stream. What's up, man? Welcome in. This means you gotta add a Gunmancer in Swords of Magic and thus allows you to cast with guns. That would be kind of funny. There's no guns in Swords of Magic, though. I do think it would be kind of cool. I think we should add like a crossbow. One of our Kickstarter backers really wanted a crossbow in the game, so we might be adding a crossbow. I just don't know how it's gonna work because we don't have animations for it. I guess we can just go get some like gun animations, right? I just don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it'll work. Like it'll have to work like a bow. Like it couldn't work like anything else, but maybe we just do like a really fast draw time on it. Or maybe a really slow draw time, but then it does a lot of damage. Maybe we just like triple the draw time, so then, like that could work. I guess I don't know. I don't think we can actually get it work. I don't think we can actually make it change. Oops. Anyway, ad break's over. Yay. Look at the idea of how magenta doesn't exist. What do you mean the idea that magenta doesn't exist? I mean, magenta exists as long as we perceive it. That's how everything exists. Okay, on-rep seasons. We have a new season. We need to push this to the sky, so let's see if we can get sky. We have a variable for that. Great. Let's do... We don't want to set the season. We want to change the season. We'll call it change season. This is happening locally for all players that get the rep notify. That should be working correctly. And then we just plug in our season. I think we're going to start our season in spring. Good. And then another thing is when we change our seasons, Actually, we're just gonna cut this out, right? We don't want to deal with this. But our time manager needs to store season, so we need to add a new variable here. Add season in there. And then this should just set it, but I'm actually not positive. Okay, so there's an issue with saved rep notify variables with Rama save. I think the issue is that when we load the game, players load in, and it's like restores the season variable, it doesn't trigger rep notifies. So what we've been doing, and it looks like we didn't do it at all in this blueprint, which makes me wonder if that's actually probably just because our time variable doesn't need a rep notify. That's right. So what we've been doing is we have two variables for rep notified variables like this. We have one that's like the save variable, and then we have like an on rep variable. We've already set up that one. So we would make like a season save, and then that's the one that actually gets saved. And on our on rep, we would set that. And then when we load in, we would actually load in and it would load the season save, and then we would set the on rep right then. So actually, I guess we wouldn't do that on rep. We would just change it wherever. So where's our save or our load? Rama load. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do it like this. I think we need this. I think we're going to do season save. And then that's actually what we do. We trigger for our saves. Oh. Oh my God. No, I know what you mean, Ruben. Yeah, when you bring that up, that reminds me, but I know what you're talking about. What you're saying is the color doesn't exist. Our brain is just piecing it together between two different colors that we do understand. That's just how our brain works, but our brain already interprets all other colors as well, right? Could you not have a magic covering thing for the arrows that would create the illusion of auto reloading? A magic covering thing for the arrows. For the illusion of auto reloading the crossbow bolts, so you would only need a pull animation the way it exists. I mean, it's pretty easy to just like show it's always loaded, right? And you pull the thing and then it just like, yeah, we could just like play an animation after you fire that like loads it again. And then we could just make it like, well, I actually don't know. I don't know if we can make it just fire. Like, yeah, I don't know if we could, to be honest with you. And I think we're at the point in the project where I don't think it's worth adding a new weapon type to make it work. I think if anything, I would just make it a bow with a long draw time. Like you're reloading before your fire. I know that's the exact opposite of what a crossbow is supposed to be, but I don't know how else we would do it. I don't know. Not necessarily. Technically, ultraviolet is a color, but we can't perceive it. Yeah, what's the difference then? Isn't that what I was just saying? I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah, sure. This is just debug. That's fine. Is server start time, set moon phase, get rid of that, that's working. And then what we would do is, yeah, so I have a moon phase save and a current moon phase, so we just grab our moon phase or our season save and we do set season to that, so our rep notify fires. Cool, that triggers the change season. And then I think how are we going to handle, I guess we just need to change our current holiday event based on time. So if our season is equal to fall and the day of the month is greater than 10. Do we decide we're gonna do the last 2 weeks for holiday events? I wonder if that's too much now. I don't know. I kind of want to just do 1 week, because that means that if we do the last 2 weeks, that means 1/8 of your gameplay is going to be seasonal events. That's not a huge deal, I guess, though. A quarter of it. You have an entire month of seasonal events. Let's look at our calendar again. Actually, we go Swords of Magic. UI mockups. Where do I have it saved? Winter. So let's say we have 4 of these, right? We have all 4 of these seasons. If we make the last week, the holiday, you get 24 times 5. You would think, I would just be able to do that math in my head. So 120 minutes. So you get 2 hours to do a seasonal event, and then you have to wait a while before you can do it again. Is 2 hours enough to like experience a seasonal event? Like, think about like Witch's Eve would be, right? Like, you just go like fight some monsters. I don't know, you've only got 2 hours. Hey, what's up, Jinmu? Welcome in. Oob, you are the most experienced Swords and Magic player in chat right now, I believe. Unless Arrow's in here. Oh, even then, I think you still are. Give me your opinion. Is 2 hours... What's up, Ginger? Good morning. It's only 11:42 p.m. for me, so it's technically still night for me. Which is a good thing. So is 2 hours enough time to make any progress in a seasonal event, in Witch's Eve or Frostfall? And then keep in mind that the entire rest of the year, so you have to wait 3 whole seasons again, which would be 3 times, we don't need to do all this math. Each season is 20 days, so we have 60 days, 60 times 24 minutes, divide that by, oh, we know how long a season is. What did I, wait, no, that's not right. 14, no, oh no, what? A full year can't be, that's not right. Hold on. 4 times 20 times 24, 1920 is the full year. You divide that by 60, you get 32. So it's 32 hours. So it is 24 hours. So each season is 8 hours of gameplay. So you got 24 hours of gameplay before you see that seasonal event come back up. 24 hours minus 2, so 22 hours. So you get to play for 2 hours, and then you have to play for 24 more hours, or 22 more hours of gameplay before you see that season again. However, there is one caveat that I do think this is what, yeah, I think this is what Arrow brought up. Actually, this was his idea. I play a lot of Eidolon, and they run their events for 2 weeks, each seasonal event. Yeah, and so do we typically, but we're switching our seasonal events from a live thing we have to handle and manage and run updates for and everything to a calendar-based thing that happens in game. So more like Stardew Valley, less like Animal Crossing, I guess. Is this server based? Yes, this will be on each server. So you can hop between servers and players will be at different points in the year, right? So you might jump into your friend's game, it might be winter, and then you jump back into someone else's game and it'll be fall, right? Which is cool. I love that idea. I love the fact that like you can just jump around and see what their calendars are like and like get different events and stuff like that. That's great. 2 hours is not a lot if you want to get a ton of tickets, like for furniture or collections. To experience them, it would be fine for Frostfall at its as it's fast, but Witch's Eve does need nighttime to really get tickets. That's true. And even Frostfall, it's not that fast because you have to farm all those. I guess Frostfall wouldn't be too bad if you weren't farming the golem, but like that's kind of the point of Frostfall. Like it's fun to farm the golem. I know a lot of people complain because we only did a week of Witch's Eve last year. I think it was. Maybe it was 2 weeks. Someone complained. They said that there just wasn't enough time to do all this stuff because they have other games they're playing. Again, that's understandable, and this kind of solves that problem because you can just pause this game and it'll still be the event when you come back, that seasonal event, which is good. I agree. The only issue I see is if it's a 2 hour window, people won't necessarily have time to partake in it. No. That's what I'm saying is it's a 2 hour window, but it pauses when you close the game, right? The only time it wouldn't pause is if you're running a server that's always on, in which case, yes, you are probably going to miss that window and it's probably going to be very hard to hit that window. But here's the caveat. Here's the reason I think this is probably okay. We're going to introduce time magic in some form or another. Maybe like a magical like sundial, like pillar or something. I don't know. Artifact thing. I don't know. Or it could just be a spell. It could be something. And you sacrifice some sort of item that you'd farm, right? In order to slow down time or potentially skip time. We're not sure how exactly what we do that yet. Yeah, so slowdown time is like what I'm mostly interested in because that means that during those events or during like a fishing tourney, if we actually end up adding those or anything else that you want, like something or like a Crimson Moon, for example, you could go in and slow down time and then you would have way more time to work on that thing. But it would take time. Yeah. Can you sleep to forward time as solo? You know, I've really considered doing that. We could easily do it. Like when you sleep, we could just speed up time and we could do it relative to the amount of players sleeping or something, or make it so if all players sleep at the same time, it speeds time. But I don't think I want to like skip time. I think I'd rather just speed up, right? I'm actually kind of tempted to like, yeah, I think we could just say like, when you go to sleep, we'll figure out how many players are on, right? We figure out the percentage of players that are sleeping and then speed up that time that of whatever like max we want it to speed up, like 2 times or 4 times or 10 times or whatever we want it to be. And we just do a percentage of that, right? So if we speed it normally at like 10 times, like you sleep for, you know, a few minutes and we go 10 times faster. So it just skips like, you know, half a day or whatever, or 8 hours or whatever we want to do. And maybe we just let players just stay sleeping too. I don't know about that. Because technically players can just keep going back to sleep over and over again. Like Terraria sleep rather than Minecraft. I don't know. Right now it doesn't do either of those things, right? Like right now you just sleep and it just heals you and then you get back up. Make it speed up by a fraction for every player sleeping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So more people on a server, the increased time will speed up. No, yeah, if we had 10 people online and one of them slept, well, yeah, we would increase the time by, or no, sorry, let me explain this again. If we have 4 people playing and we normally, like, if one person is playing, you sleep, you would speed up time by 10 times, right? The time would start going 10 times faster, right? And you'd skip like half a day or something when you slept. If you had 4 people on and one person slept, it would only speed up by 2.5 times, right? A quarter of that. If another person slept in the middle of it, then you would ramp it up to 5 times. Another person 7.5 and last person 10. So yes, it would be a fraction of the amount of players' time. they're playing. If you only have 2 players playing, 1 person's left, it'd be 50% faster. I think that would be fine. So yeah, so if 1 player doesn't want the time to go faster, then they can do that. However, I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I kind of think we just leave sleeping alone and we just make some item just like the slowdown time that just like skips a day or something, or just speeds it up for a certain amount of time. I think the slow time, or the like slowing down time but like to like half speed, is great because it lets players experience things for longer. So you get like 4 hours. Maybe we even do less than that. We do like a quarter speed or something. So you get like 6 hours instead. Right? Whatever. Yeah, you get 6 hours for like those events. I still don't know if that's enough time. I mean, hell, we could even let players like pause time, like just totally just pause time for like 5 minutes or something, and you just, and then maybe we just, I don't know. I think we could do like pause time, maybe slow time, and maybe skip time. And skipping time, I'm thinking we could literally just skip a day. Like we'll just, maybe we just skip to the next dawn. We just literally just call the next dawn event. My only problem with that is that sometimes when players skip time in our dev builds, it breaks things. I can't tell you exactly when. Speeding up time would be better, but I'm still a little skeptical that if we speed up time too much, then we'll run into more problems where like events don't trigger or whatever, they get skipped. A quarter would be 8 hours. Thank you. You're right. You were just out, dude. I let you out before I came up here. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we could do 2 weeks. That gives you 4 hours. This is really going to suck for players on a dedicated server. Right? If you're on a dedicated server, you literally have a 2-hour window, maybe a 4-hour window if we do 2 weeks to hit one of these events. So if you, and if it's 32 hours, or no, yeah, 32 hours for a full year, and you go to bed, you literally skip an entire season. Like just sleeping for 8 hours, like you lose the season. How much time skip would sacrificing the astrologer give? It just like the entire astrologer. What's his name? Oh man, I can't think of his name. That would be pretty interesting if that's how that worked, though. If you could sacrifice different items for different amounts of time. If you make a magic clock tower that you can sacrifice a special item and have one whole day pass for the world on a dedicated server in just a few seconds. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. It would be an item you could place on your property. You'd have to unlock it through some special means. It'd be a secret thing or something. Maybe like, oh man, I don't know. I was gonna say, what if we just like time gate it? So if you experience a whole year in game, then it like unlocks or something somehow. But that would be easy. That would be literally like a week for dedicated servers. Not even that. It'd be 2 days for dedicated servers, and then for regular solo players not on a dedicated server, they would be playing for a long time. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm not sure how to handle this. This is why the calendar system hasn't gone in yet, because I've been like mulling this over for years now, trying to figure out how to handle this. If it's only placeable, you could have it be a check from the plot owner. What do you mean a check? And allow it one to exist on a server. Oh, I'm not too worried about that. I think if a play, like, I think if there could be multiple on a server, it wouldn't matter. I don't think that would be a big deal. I think it would just be like I think if players tried to slow down time twice, it would just reset the timer and slow it down the same speed, right? So let's say if we did do the time slow thing, you slow down by half, and another player waited like halfway time or a few minutes and then did their own on their thing, it wouldn't affect the time at all. In fact, maybe it would just say like this magic is already in effect or something, so it just wouldn't work. So that way you don't lose your item trying to do it again. But it could also just reset the timer too. So if it does it for like 10 minutes, it would just do it again. We would build this system this feature right into the time manager probably. So it would just trigger that, and then we would just know if we had it. The only thing that might be a problem is if you restarted your game, I think you'd lose the effect. So if you like slowed down time and then logged off for the night, when you came back on, I don't think we would store that. I just don't. I mean, we could. It's just it'd be extra work for some reason to save on your save file. I just don't think it's worth it. I feel like if you did that, you would want to. You would trigger that when you were ready to go do something that you wanted to store. You wouldn't trigger it and then go to bed. So that'd probably be fine. But anyway, having multiple of them wouldn't be a problem. I think we're gonna have to just like skip a day. That also means that when players do like quests and stuff that take like days to get your letter or whatever, you could just skip days to get your letter immediately. But I'm okay with that. That's like kind of the point of it. My only concern is like, I just don't know if I want players skipping entire like seasons just to experience a seasonal event again. Which is kind of what makes me think like maybe instead of slowing down time, we literally just let players pause time. Because if players really want to keep experiencing the like Frostfall event or whatever, let's just give them a way to do it rather than just slowing it down. Let's just let them pause time and just play it for as long as they want. Like they will have to keep going back to their house like every 10 minutes or whatever to like pause it again, But like if you do that a few times, like that's worth it, right? And maybe it just pauses it for a full day. Like you have like 24 minutes to like of your time paused. And we can even like explain it away and be like, other players just won't, or other people in the world just will never realize it's happening. Like they just won't acknowledge that it's happening, and they'll just move on with their lives. I don't know. Who knows? Outbreak starting soon. I have to consider that if closing the game stops it, someone could have a power outage or yeah, and that's fine. And that kind of stuff happens. I don't know. I can't account for everything like that. I mean, I guess like we could save for things like that, but like, I just don't think that's a big a deal. I don't know. There is lore somewhere. I don't remember where it is. Oh, did I just use the last snooze? Has someone been snoozing the ad breaks for me? Arrow's the only person I think, the only mod in here. I don't know who else would be snoozing then. I don't know why we're on 3 of 3 already. I don't think anyone's been snoozing them, but whatever. Also game crash? Yeah, well, our game doesn't crash that often. Unless you have a really bad PC or something, then if it's like a hardware issue, then sure. I think we're gonna run this ad anyway, though. I just snoozed it, but I think I know that sucks. I think we're gonna run this ad, and I'm gonna go let the dog out and refill my whiskey. And I guess I'll think about this for a minute. That sound good to everyone else? What if you sacrifice a seasonal event item to pause time for events only? Say Empowered Frost Shard. Oh, that'd be interesting. So you have to experience it legitimately, and then you can pause time. We could look into that. I think that might piss some people off, because that means they have to waste time farming those. Right? So you'd have to like farm those just so you could get the other things of the event. So I do feel like you'd be wasting a bunch of time trying to get those rather than just doing the other things. I think that's one of those situations where you might get complaints like about time respecting players' time. Okay, dog has to go out. All right. Well, I feel bad that we just snoozed that ad. We could have saved that for later, but anyway, I'm going to run a commercial for, I don't know, it wants a duration. 300 seconds would be 5 minutes, right? Is it seconds? Is that how they do this? I think so. Okay, I'm gonna press this. I hope I can end it if we need to, but I should be back within 5 minutes anyway. Let's do 240. I don't know how many minutes that is, but my brain. On the one hand, yes. Other hand, what are we gonna do with 100 backpacks? That's true. Sell them, I guess. But yeah, that's a good point. But keep in mind too that, like, yeah, I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot less golem farming when this system comes in place, because you're only gonna have so much time. Even if you can pause time, I think that's gonna get tedious. You have to do it every 10 minutes, whatever, to keep time paused forever. So I think players are gonna get bored of that. See you later, Riven. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Good luck on your journey. Good various ads. Yeah, YouTube ads are totally different. I can't control YouTube ads. Actually, you know what? I can control YouTube ads. I chose to turn them on. I should turn them back off. I don't know why I chose to turn them on. I really don't know why I turned them on, especially since I hate them so much on Twitch. I guess because I don't see them or realize they're there on YouTube, but I should just turn them off. Anyway, okay, I'll be right back. Oh man, how late am I? Did I make it in time? Anyway, hi. Maybe sacrifice the tickets, but you can trade the golem drops. More tickets. Should make a bag with a bag in it to explode playfully. We've dropped a D&D reference to bag of holding. Make a bag with a bag in it. That'd be funny. I don't know. I don't think I want the time mechanic to be tied to seasonal events. I don't think I want it to be like implied that this time mechanic is built here for you to extend the seasonal events. I think I'd rather the time mechanic be a separate thing entirely and let players figure out that that's a cool way to extend the seasonal events if they want to. Right? Plus, I just think that it doesn't feel like... I don't know. I don't... Like, it feels weird at trading in tickets, like seasonal event tickets, to stop time. That just doesn't feel like... Like, how does that make sense logically in the world? You know what I mean? I'm a big proponent of, like, this has to make sense within the context of this world, so... Not sure I like that. Oh my god, that whiskey is so good. I don't know whose idea it was to make peanut butter whiskey, but like, hats off to them. Okay, if it's fall, we're gonna do the last 10 days. So we're gonna do 15. My brain is not, it's not in the mood to do basic math tonight, I guess. I don't know why. I was like, wait, what's 3/4? If it's the last week, how many days is that? Would it be greater than or equal to? No, the 15th day would be, no, it would be the 16th day, so it needs to be greater than. Okay. If it's that, we're gonna do our set. We're gonna set our current holiday event to Witch's Eve. Let's do a sequence here. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll check both these. It's day of the month. This is going to be winter. And this is going to be frostfall. Cool. I think this current holiday event thing right here only does, it doesn't handle loading anything in. It only handles what's it called? Dialogue and things like that. Like players can, like, we can check like NPC dialogue if they're like, and check for holiday events and then have them say different things. I think that's what we do for like trick-or-treating and stuff. Boo, math. I know, right? I totally agree. I love that Ribbon said they were going to sleep and then dropped an idea for a D&D reference. Okay, begin play on the Sky Sphere. We don't want to deal with any seasonal things here, but we do need to... Should we just cache this? Or should we just... Man, I love what we're doing, a 5-second delay here for race condition reasons. Hello? The whistling, like, I don't know, just like grates on me. It's not whistling, but you know what I mean. It's like a flute. I'm going to attempt to sleep now. All right, good luck. Godspeed. Thanks for hanging out, Oob. I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out, Oob. Sorry. Let's see. We've got time manager, cast a time manager, bind to new moon, bind. Oh, we need to set up a bind. That's what we were doing in here. Dispatcher, new season. Wait, do we want to do this? Why are we doing? We don't need to do this. We're calling this. We don't need to do this, right? Yeah, we don't need to do this. We're wasting time with this. I mean, I guess we could call. I don't know. Maybe we could just set this up in case we want to listen to it for somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is better. Maybe this is a better way to do this anyway. I'm an idiot. Seasons, new season. We're gonna set it up anyway. And we're gonna call it in here on a rep notify so it can be called locally if we need to. Is that a good idea? I think so too. We also need to remember that wherever we're setting this at, that's fine, but we're other place. New day. Not only do we need to set it here, but we need, or set this here, we also need to set our season save at the same time. I actually wonder if we should put all of this behind a function. It bothers me that the comment was over that. Okay. Cool. Now what? I think this is gonna work. It's only happening on the server, right? It must be. Okay, should we test this? I don't know if we I don't think we can test it in here. Let's go test it in the NPC dev map. I don't think we changed anything here, but this is fine, I guess. Sure. Nice, this one's gonna load a lot faster than the other one we tried to load last time. All right, I think this should work. Let's go to our time manager. I wonder if we should have something on our HUD that shows. Let's see, we want player UI. If you guys think this song is from Overcooked, raise your hand in chat. please. Come on, Unreal Engine, open the blueprint. I was gonna warn everyone this is gonna take a little bit to open, but I was not expecting it to take this long. I was like, I don't need to warn people. It's gonna take like 5 seconds to open. This is a scary long time. What is going on? Why is this still loading? There it goes. Has a lot of stuff in this widget, so I'm not that surprised. I mean, we have a calendar, and I do think the calendar should be the place where players go to see what, like, you know, what day it is and everything. We have the time here. But I wonder if we should show, like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know? We also need to make a calendar item you can put in your house. Which means we need to model a calendar probably. Yeah, we're not gonna put anything on the HUD. Let's just do some prints. That's fine. So let's just do a print here. New season. Let's make this last like 10 seconds so we don't miss it. Make it orange. Let's grab this. Let's go over to on new day maybe. Don't want to, you know what? I kind of do want to print every day. Let's just do that. Let's make this last for 3 seconds. And let's do new day. Let's actually do a couple things in here. So we'll do the day. Sure. We'll do weekday. Let's do month. And then let's do, I guess we can do the year. Let's do this. Let's do, now let's, just to make sure all this is working, we'll just check it all. Did it backward. There we go. It's supposed to be a weekday right here. Okay. We're checking all those, then we'll know when we switch to a new season. Invalid player controller object. Oh, and auto settings, that's fine. Oh, cancel. Oh wait, hold on. What is this? Interactable bed. We have a sleep in bed parameter, or sleep in bed that used to have a parameter. What was the parameter we used to have? I have no idea. Bed sleeping. Well, okay. I don't know why this is broken. That's weird because I haven't changed that. I haven't touched that in a long time, I don't think. New season, spring. I guess it's day 0. We have 2 players. We're gonna... I'm not sure I want to... Let's just test this one time and make sure it actually works. So we'll just sit here for a minute, make sure we can get through a whole day, and then... Actually, we'll just do this. Skip to 4 p.m. That'll save us a little bit of time. And then we could actually set to midnight, but that's all right. When we hit close to midnight, like we'll hit like 11:50 or so, and then I will turn off the slow-mo effect. Oh, didn't realize we were already so close. And then we will start setting the day as long as we know this one works. So we should see a new day. Should last for 3 seconds. Here it is. Let's just print string it. Oh, okay, good. Weekday 1, month 1, day of the month 11. So that's interesting. Why are we the day of the month 11? I mean, this is a save file, so that's fine. Also, this day of the week is actually day 2 technically because we're not adding one to it. Actually, I think we are. Whatever, it's fine. And it is spring. I do believe that worked. So let's do set time. No, let's do, yeah, dawn, which should just put us at a new day. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, set time 0. That doesn't work. Set time 24.99. That works. Okay, day 2, day of the month 12. Great, that's good. Let's do it again. 3:13, 4, 5, back to 1. Cool. Day 17, 3, 4, 5. Oh, month 2. I didn't see it change month. It was supposed to be a 10-second thing. I think it's because we added a thing, so we never see 0. Is that right? Because we did get date. Yeah, we're adding 1 to all these, so instead of 0, yeah, I see what's happening. This needs to be 1. Oh, that also means that we are going to start the game in the summer because the first day will pop up. This might not trigger a new day actually on the first time you load in because it'll start at 7 a.m. So that makes sense. That should be fine. I hope. Okay, zip plate. I don't think we saved. It is saying new season spring again. That's good. I don't remember where that gets called or why. 24.99. We did get it. We did trigger a save. We're in month 2. Wait, why did that show month 2 right there? I think our math is off. Okay. Weekday 3, day of the month 8. Month 2. If we did month 2, we should be in summer now. Four to 9, 5 to 10, 1 to 11, 2 to 12. I think maybe this is working. I don't know. It seemed like we went to month 2 randomly and we shouldn't have yet. We're on day 18, 19, 20. And now this next one should shift us into a new season. There it is, new season, winter. So we were in fall somehow. Month 3 should not be winter. Oh, actually, maybe, no. Month 3 should not be winter. Oh, I think I know why. Again, it's because we are already taking into account the day of the week. So yeah, we need to fix that. Oh, but look, it's working. That's what I get for pausing the screen. We've done it. Okay, but we need to trigger snow. We need to trigger a new weather effect at this time. And the snow is almost gone. Or the dirt's almost gone. And we have full snow. That's nice. That looks great. Let's see if it turns back off. It also worked for both client and server. That's good. Also, we should trigger a save. Let's just pick one of these up. So we just take this out. That should trigger a save. Cool. Trigger to save. So now when we load back in, this should technically show winter. Well, except we're going to break it right now because I'm going to fix a bug. Time manager. Greater than 15 is good. Season, though, we need one more. And this needs to be spring. This needs to be summer. This needs to be fall. And this one needs to be winter. And I wish I could turn that last one off, but I can't. Okay, so now when I hit play, we should have already saved it in winter. So I think we might be broken, but it should still be winter. New season, spring. So that's not being saved. Or it's not being loaded properly. And also we need to be using that set. Yeah, so we had that set variable set up in here. Set season. That's not it. I think right here we need to call the set season on the sky sphere. I don't know if the sky sphere exists at this point. Because it doesn't get set until somewhere else. Who knows? Let's see where it gets set. This might actually just get eye dropped. Let's go to our time manager. Yep, it does. Okay, that's fine. So back in the time manager, so this already exists for sure. We are just going to do a set season. This should be happening for everyone. Ah, shit. And this is only happening on the server, I believe. Yeah, is server. So we do a nope. How do we do this? The problem is that we're going to be setting this with a notify, which means when the player logs in, they get this change season effect. I need like is logging in or is just loading BP or something. I have a a Boolean. I have an is loaded Boolean. I wonder where that's being used. Setting is loaded to true. Maybe that's how we handle it. This is false to begin with. Could we put our time before this? And then check if is loaded. If is loaded is false, that means that we can set the thing for everyone. No, we can't. We still can't do that. This doesn't matter. When a client logs in, it'll still trigger the rep notify. We just want to set their season before. We don't want them to log in midway through winter and see the season change over the course of 60 seconds. We need a way to determine whether or not the season has already been going on. How do we do this? You know what? What if in here we just got the day if day of the month equals 1, then we do this like normal. Otherwise, if it's not 1, then that means it's later in the month. So we don't want to set the season fade in because we already know that season's been going on. So instead, we'll do a set season. And that'll trigger for all players. We don't need to call new season here either. This number was correct, or this thing was correct the whole time. Oh no, it wasn't. We skipped one. Yeah. Okay. I think this will work. Let's put a comment here so I know what the hell we're doing here. Let's save. Cutscene. What's up, Darius? A cutscene is not a bad idea, but I don't want players to have to like go through a cutscene every single time they log in. But yeah, doing a cutscene when the season changes is actually a good idea. The problem with cutscenes is that this kind of stuff could happen literally at any time, which means you might end up in a cutscene in the middle of a boss fight, and we'd have to pause the game for all players, and that is less than trivial, or more than trivial. It's a non-trivial thing, is what I'm trying to say. We're in month 3, but it still said spring. It's very strange that we're getting the moon changes at midnight. That usually happens at like 8 p.m. or something. I don't know why this is triggering this. Slightly concerned that's a problem. So we're in month 3, so it should be fall, but it definitely said spring when we loaded in, so there's definitely an issue there. I don't know what though. We're about to move into what should be winter. Right here. Yeah, now it says winter. There's the snow coming in. We still need to trigger the snow here. I did access none getting global event manager. There's no global event manager in this debug level. That's fine. That global event manager we should be triggering like on winter. We should load in their winter level, or I guess not winter. When we get to the last like week of the month or whatever, we should be loading in the seasonal events. Hey, what's up, Summon? Welcome in. I might need a way to like trigger this faster or like skip more time. Like I might need a new command that just changes like the week or something, or maybe even just sets the month. Because doing this 20 times to switch through the seasons is gonna get really tedious. Last day of the month. Should be spring. Snow should melt. Snow should melt. Snow should melt. I guess the season change is not working when we go into spring. Oh wait. Yes it is. I forgot to take 60 seconds. The snow is melting. I wonder if... I guess it's fine. Like, if there's a snowstorm going on when we transition into spring, it's probably not a big deal. Who cares? It'll just end eventually. It's not a big deal. Who cares? That'll just be a weird fluke. It worked. Okay, love it. Love when things just work. And it works for the client too. That's great. We did it. I'm happy. And it's not even 1 o'clock yet. What is the game you're creating? This is a game called Swords and Magic and Stuff. It is on Steam in early access. You can purchase it today. It has hundreds of hours worth of content in it. It's 92% positive review scores right now. But it's kind of teetering between 92 and 93. So you should play it and leave a positive review so we can hit 93 again. Anyway, yeah, it's an open world multiplayer action RPG. Oh, that was weird. I don't know why I grabbed the other controller or the other player. The game it's like an adventure RPG. You can run around and do quests and fight monsters and level up and get experience. There's let's move this guy off the screen. A whole bunch of stuff in the game to collect. These are all the hats in the game. There's also masks. Not as many of those, but masks usually have like a significant purpose in the game, so it's not the others, not whatever. This is all furniture. You can buy plots and build houses on them, and decorate them. You can share plots with other players, give them permissions to do everything on your plot, and then yeah, it's pretty robust. There's a lot of stuff you can place. There's also building structures. You buy like a blueprint and you put it down and then like put all the resources in it, and then it just like a building comes out of the ground. It's pretty cool. And you can also build your own structures with this thing called the architect's table that you can unlock like higher level crafting. You do have skills as well. So there's like alchemy, blacksmithing, carpentry, tailoring, tinkering, which is not in the game yet. I don't think we're actually going to add it in the game. There's a farming level, but there's not like a skill for it. Like, it's a skill, I guess, whatever. Cooking, there's no mount skill, but you do get mounts in the game, and you can level up each mount individually. As you ride them more, they level up, and you have points to spend in each of them to like increase their speed and stuff like that. There's also fishing, but there's no fishing skill, and there's no bug catching. Those are just random things that are thrown in here. There's also 6 classes in the game. So there's like warrior, hunter, rogue, mystic, mage, and druid, and each one of these has its own like playstyle kind of. There's a skill tree that is like 95% done, and after we get this calendar system in, we're going to be working on that too, and get that knocked out because there's just mostly bug fixes left. But yeah, there's these, and you can level these up, all of them too. Like there's no limits. So as of right now, there's no limits. So you can hit level 30, which is the cap level. Oh no, 35. 35 is the cap level right now for all of these. So you can hit every single one can become 35 if you want. I'm level 0 in all of them, but like as I level up, new things happen. If I hit 10, I think I get a initiate hunter. Anyway, there's also a skill tree, which again, yeah, and the skill tree will have limitations. You can only like max out one of these trees really, and then you can put more points in other ones. So you can kind of mix and match what you want to put some points in. There's also the most exciting part, which is all the weapons in the game. There's a lot of weapons in the game. A lot of weapons in the game. Really proud of all the weapons in the game. There's going to be a lot more too, because we have one more zone to do before the game's finished, and it's a big zone, and there's going to be a lot of weapons in it. Lots of cool secrets and stuff. There's also fishing. I don't know if I mentioned that. And outfits. You can change your outfits too. Lots of different clothing and outfits to collect. Anyway, yeah, and there's like, I think, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zones in the game right now. One of those zones has a really big like storyline in it, and I guess 2 of them do actually, technically. And then the other 2 zones are more like open-ended, like just kind of play as you want, however you want. But I plan on going back through and adding more storylines eventually through them. But anyway, there's also lots of quests. There's 350 NPCs in the game. Each one is handmade. Like each one has like its own custom like setup and everything. None of them are procedurally generated, and every single one has handwritten dialogue too. And a lot of them have quests and like secrets and stuff. Like there's one NPC in the game that has she tells you about she's a fisherman, and she tells you about how like all this stuff gets lost in the sea or whatever, and she wishes that she thinks they're cool or whatever, but then she talks about how like there's not as cool as I don't know what she says. She says something about how she wants a specific drink, right? So if you decide to go get her that drink and bring it back to her, then she gives you like a secret thing that she found, like this cool thing that she found out in the sea while she was fishing. This is also a debug level, by the way. The world's much bigger than this, and there's like lots of stuff in it. If you take that thing that she found, which happens to be a key to a chest, if you find the secret chest that you can find like written about in a book somewhere, and you go find that secret chest and use the key, it opens up and gives you a new staff and a spell for it, which like unlocks a new play style that you can't get anywhere else in the game. There's things like that in the game. Lots of stuff like that, like lots and lots of stuff like that. So they're not all just quests from the NPCs. Sometimes there are other things too. Anyway, there's also crafting and such too. I think I mentioned that. You can just drop stuff in to like process it and then pick it up out of the output, level up your skills. So I just leveled up a bunch of carpentry stuff. So if I had a carpentry table, I'm cheating. I could place that on my plot. You can also turn off snapping and then rotate like exactly how you want. You can like place your stuff like really precise. I can craft all this cool stuff, including more furniture. I don't have anything cool that I can place. I can make a garden sign. There's a garden sign, which doesn't do anything because I don't have any gardens near or gardens nearby. Actually, I think that might be broken now. I think that might be bugged. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We also have signs you can write on now, which is nice. So Sorry, yeah, I just went off. Sorry. I tend to do that because there's just so much in the game that it's hard to just explain it with like a one-liner. I know a lot of people are like, I'm making a platformer where you do this thing and this thing. And in this game, it's just like, this is a game about swords and magic and stuff and like everything you can think of. That, yeah, it's been in development since 2017 is when I started it. It was restarted twice, and then this is the last build that we started in 2019, I believe, and then we launched the game in 2020. But there's so much stuff in the game, but at this point, because it's been in early access for 5 years, and for a long time we were just adding fun stuff instead of like progressing to actually finish the game, which was stupid. But yeah, we just added a lot of extra stuff that we weren't ever supposed to put in. So the game's getting pretty full now. Like, the world's not huge, but it's really, really dense. There's stuff around every single corner to run into, discover, and unlock. There's also animal companions and pets too. I didn't mention that. So you can get like a crab companion that runs around and fights for you or with you, and you can heal him, of course, and throw like snacks on the ground. They'll run over and pick up the snacks and eat them. There's a lot. There's a lot in this game. Too much. We used to have a team of 6. That's how we like crammed all this stuff in the game. And now I'm solo, so it's just me trying to like finish things up now. So anyway, these are just for the global event manager. We should put an is valid on there, but it really shouldn't matter because in the actual game that they will definitely exist. We could actually put a global event manager in here, which would be a good idea. Yeah, you don't need it. Anyway, this is all working beautifully. This is working exactly the way we wanted it to. That's awesome. I don't know about this set season thing. I think we could try this. Let's log in with 1 player. Oh, except we would have, I don't think we ran around for too long probably, so I bet it's spring again. Yep. Actually, it didn't even load in to tell me if it was spring or not. And to get back to winter, I don't have any way to do that. I think we might have to do build a command that like sets our season. Or, hear me out. Oh no, it won't matter. Actually, no, I don't know. I think this is gonna have the situation where we just have to like test it in game. Like, we'll just have to send it to testers and see if they notice it breaking. I mean, there's a way to, I don't know, there's ways to test it. Yeah, screw it. Let's just build a chat command really fast. Chat window. Yeah, this is our season, or our weather. We need to duplicate this, essentially. We're gonna do set season. Oh yeah, we need to set the weather up too. So when we switch seasons, or when we switch to winter, we want to trigger a snow weather immediately. You know, we could just, I guess when we switch to spring, we can just set back to clear, just end the weather. That's fine. Anyway, we don't need the weather manager. We need the get time manager. It looks like we have this stored. Let's just do it from the game stage just in case. Promote to local variable. We will call this time time manager. Anyways, but yeah, right now we're working on a calendar system. Here's another thing we have in the game. During Halloween and Christmas, we do seasonal events where I go through and like set up a whole thing in game to like um, to like change it to a seasonal event. So we have two seasonal events. We have Witch's Eve and we have Frostfall. Witch's Eve is like a thing where you, like, new monsters spawn around the world and you fight them, and they drop pumpkin guts and they drop skeleton bones, or cursed bones technically. And then you can turn those into some witches in town who are set up for like the Witch's Eve festival, and they'll give you tickets. And then you turn the ticket, or you spend the tickets on stuff. So things like new foods, new Halloween costumes, masks. There's like a mask vendor that walks around with like a bunch of masks all over his back on his backpack. You'll never guess where I came up with that idea from. He's pretty cool. His name's Bernard, though. Anyway, and then you can also buy weapons, which are pretty popular. There's like, I think 8 different weapons for Witch's Eve. And then Frostfall is similar, but instead of going to town to like trade tickets in, you actually go hunt around the world to find ornaments. There's 5 different colors, and you go through this portal, these portals that pop up in town, and go to a whole new area called Snow Peak Village, where the Frostfall Festival is held. And you turn the ornaments in there for whistles to summon a horn. Sorry, it's a horn to summon a frost golem, and then you fight the frost golem. It's a big boss fight. Or you can also turn the ornaments in for tickets to buy weapons and things. The frost golem can only be defeated by like special weapons. You have to use the tickets for those weapons. Anyway, there's a whole thing. So we're building a calendar system now, so you can do this in game every so often, like, because the year will just progress now, rather than me having to set this up once a year to do the events. So basically, I'm just kind of like, we're automating the system sort of, so players can just experience these whenever they want. It does mean that they have to like play the game to get to them, and we have a couple like design issues with that we're still trying to like hammer out, but overall I think this system's gonna work better. Anyway, time manager. Oh wait, what did I just change? I already have a local variable called time manager. I'm very confused. Oh, I'm an idiot. I renamed something else. We don't need the weather manager either. Yeah. Okay, set weather, change this to set season. Ignore case. Seasons can only be changed by the host. That's fine. We don't want to do these. We just want to grab our time manager and do set season. Uh-oh. Seriously? Why did we do it like this? Dude, thank you. Okay, time manager. Oh, I had it. Duh. Set season. You know what? We're not setting the season save though in this rep notify, and I wonder if we actually should. It's fine. I think we're gonna end up with like more redundancy than we want doing that. I think it's fine. Oh, this is a stupid switch. We don't want to switch on string. Yeah, we do. We want to switch though. For fall, no, spring, summer, fall, winter. spring, summer, fall, winter. Oh, you know what though? This is not going to change our time. Do we care? Do we care about that? Trying to change the time to match the season is going to be a huge pain. Looks so weird seeing UE4 again. I agree. I've been working in UE5 like every day for like the last like month and a half, 2 months, and so yeah, it is weird when I open Swords of Magic and I'm like, trust me, I would not be in here if I could help it. I really don't want to be working in UE4 anymore. I'm very, very ready to be done. But I'm very glad also that I didn't waste a bunch of time trying to move it to UE5, because the game we're at that point where it's like, we just need to wrap it up and be done. It's so far along already. Like, we've done so much. But Swords is life, Magic is love. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people think that I just hate the game now because I like don't want to work on it anymore. But it's not that. Like, I really do love the game. It's just that it's like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's just difficult to work on, right? There's a lot of friction now. When I first started making the game, there was just kind of like, oh, how cool would it be if we did this thing? What if we did this thing? What if we did this thing? And I still think like that. The problem is that when I first started, it was easy to do those things. It was like, yeah, that'd be an awesome thing to add to this. Let's do it. But now, because there's so much stuff, it's like a house of cards, right? So every time we like built a new feature on it, was like, oh shoot, it knocked everything over. Not a big deal. Let's just build it back up, right? Or it knocked over a portion or whatever. Just build it back up. But now, because it's so big now, right? The project is so big. This house of cards is like your whole room, right? It's massive. And every time I put a new feature on it, it knocks down a huge chunk of it. And then I have to go back through and like set it all back up. Like, I'm actually surprised that this is working so seamless and we haven't run into any major flaws yet, knock on wood, or major issues yet, because I was prepared for some major issues. But we haven't even gotten to the point where I have to like load in like the sub levels and stuff yet. So there is a chance that we're going to run into some issues. Also, to keep this in mind, when Witch's Eve starts or when Frostfall starts, we can't do a cutscene because of boss fight reasons, right? I guess technically there is a way to do it. We could technically slow-mo and or like set time dilation or whatever to 0, right? We can technically time dilate to 0, so whatever is happening just gets paused, and then we show a widget on screen that is not affected by time dilation to show like that there's a new thing or whatever. But the problem is, I don't know if we can load in a new level while time dilation is set to 0. I think we can, but I'm not. I assume we can. I'm just not positive. But the problem is also like what we're gonna run into is if you're hanging out in Sleepy Haven, for example, and winter hits, or not winter, but like Frostfall starts, and then one of the portals appears. You are now like either. Like, what if you're in the location of the portal? Like, one, if we don't do some sort of cutscene when the new season comes in, or when those events start, then it means you're going to see it pop in right in front of you. And two, if you're in the location where it is, that's a problem. And three, the portals for Frostfall let you teleport to a new location. Granted, you can't save your location there. So like if you turn off the game, you will end up back in wherever you slept last, which will not be in Frostfall, in the Snow Peak. So that's fine. But if you leave the game on and the season ends and it's now spring, we technically, like, should we teleport players back because like the Frostfall is over, or should we just let them keep enjoying Frostfall in the location for as long as they want? What if they're in the middle of a boss fight when it ends? We don't want to teleport them back during that. So like, how do we handle this? So like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on like I don't know how we're gonna handle this. I also really need to unload the Snow Peak area, because when players aren't there, we shouldn't have it loaded in. I actually think I might have to do a like I don't know if I can even do a I don't know. There's a lot of like hitches here, right? And these are all things that we haven't like built like for. So this is why making new systems is such a pain. And this is why like making a new game is so much more enticing, because I can start from scratch and think about all these future systems and build for them. Whereas with Swords and Magic, I can't really do that anymore. Like, it would take way too long to go back through and refactor like old systems. Like earlier, we were just talking about like a crossbow would be really cool to add to the game, and I'd love to do that, but I have to go back through and rebuild like all of the like combat stuff for like range combat to make it work, so I could charge an attack first and then fire again to just fire the arrow. So like the only solution I have here is like, let's just cheese it and use the same bow system but make it a super long draw. But then you can't keep it locked, or like keep your arrow knocked, which is, or your bolt, whatever, knocked, which is the whole point of a crossbow system. So it's like, it's little things like that where like, if I were working on a different game that was smaller and that I'd like had done a better job of thinking through, and keep in mind too, this is the first game I worked on in Swords in Unreal Engine, like the first major project. So I didn't know anything when I started, but now I've learned so much that like half the stuff in this game, more than that, 80% of the stuff in this game, I would build totally differently, right? A lot of the stuff is built like wrong, or built on like a bad foundation or whatever. So it's really hard to work with and hard to refactor and hard to like add on to and stuff. So like, yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of, man, I wish I was working in a new project so I could rebuild this from the ground up in a better way. So like to, you know, to take things like crossbows into account in the future. So, and then there's always going to be some level of that too, right? Like even if I did start a brand new project, I wouldn't think about every single thing you could possibly build in the game and add that in. Like there would still be some level of like, I want to add this new thing that is going to work really well for the game or whatever, and is a cool idea, but we don't have, you know, the structure for it, and that's fine. Like we don't always need that. Anyway, I do not think you hate the game. Working on something for a long time, it's burnout. Yeah, and I don't think you think that. I know there's some people who think that. Maybe they don't think that specifically, but I think there's just like an element of like, yeah, he's never gonna finish this game. He doesn't like working on it. He doesn't like this game anymore. He wants to make something new. And I do, but like I don't. It's not that I don't like this game. I don't know. This has always been like my sandbox where I like just get to like do whatever I want to do, and it's just fun and exciting, and people mostly like my ideas, so it's pretty easy to just like knock stuff out. But yeah, there's also issues with it. Okay, so this is not going to work the way I want it to work, because this is just going to set the season, and then once we hit the first again, it's going to reset the season to whatever it's actually supposed to be, which is probably fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But what I want to do is I want to set the season to winter. It's not a valid command. It's not, and I know why. It's not because I forgot to actually hook it in. So we need to go find where we have this command, set weather, find references right here, and we need to grab the set season and plug it in. Oh, I can't plug it in because I have to add a new pin to it. There we go. Do you like this? These are all the commands. This is the best way to do this in Blueprint. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, there's so many better ways to handle this. Like, there's just a billion ways we could have handled this differently. Like, we could have just had an array of like all the commands, and then we just like check that array to see if it's valid, and if it's valid, then we like, I don't know. No, actually, I don't know. I'm not actually sure the best way to handle this. This might actually be the best way for this. Probably not, but who knows? I like this. Maybe set global time dilation. Yep, that works. We use that all the time. Okay, now we should have a command for that. Let's find out. Make sure we're not missing. We might be missing other stuff. A snowstorm that slowly does damage is a warning that you need to get out. That would be cool. That would be a really cool idea. Nope, set season winter. Again, still not a valid command. Why? I don't know. Probably because I need to do DT commands. Yep. And add a new one in here. Add. See, like why did I have to do this? You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to do a switch if we already have this? I should have just like I feel like I could have just plugged this in to the like get row name and then just done whatever I need to do. There's so many ways I could have like built this better. I think I didn't build this, but still, I preface that a lot, and I'm sorry about that. I'm not just trying to like point fingers. I don't remember who built it. I think Moz, but it's like I'm not like upset that anyone built anything wrong in this game. Like we were all learning from the beginning, but like, yeah. Anyway. There we go. I think that time it triggered. It triggered, but I don't think it actually did anything. We would have seen some snow by now. So it didn't work. I don't know why that's not working now. Got the time manager. Oh, something went wrong. We're doing ignore case. Oh, I capitalized everything in here. Maybe that's the problem. Still didn't work? I'm confused. Oh, it doesn't say, no, it says not with case sensitive. Did I spell it wrong? Does it spell wrong and I'm just an idiot? Replace from /set season to nothing. Oh, there needs to be a space on the end of this. That's why. That was a dumb bug, dumb issue. There we go. Okay, resume. Cool. Winter. All right, so now the question is, we're saved as winter. So now when the player comes back in, the rep notify is going to trigger for winter. When a second player comes in, I mean, so we're going to add a client, and it should technically instantly be winter. It shouldn't do the 60-second fade into winter. Oh, popped on the other screen. Hang on. Wait, I can't move it yet. There it goes. Nope. We're doing the fade in. Oh, I know why. It was the first day of the season, so yes, it was going to do that. Okay, let's try again. If it's the first day of the season, I don't mind if it does that when they come in, because it just turned winter. So even if it was like 11 o'clock at night and it should have already like been covered in snow, I'm not that concerned. It takes 60 seconds, it'll happen. I don't think players are gonna like argue about that. Plus the chance of them coming in on the first day of winter, I don't know, maybe that actually will happen, but still, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, and plus, like, if it is the first day of the winter, I think I kind of want them to see the transition. But if they come back in later, I don't want them to have to wait 60 seconds for the snow to like show up, right? And that's the problem. So we're gonna do set time 24.99 to make sure we're like a few days in. Okay, we're a couple days in now. Now we'll do set season winter. I don't even know, honestly, if this is even a big deal. Oh. Yeah, no, that worked. Because I just set winter and it just instantly did it. So when I hit add client, it should also just instantly do it. I think it worked. Also, welcome back from the ad break. Sorry, I should have mentioned something about it. Yeah, we're already winter. 100% perfect. Beautiful. So it only actually transitions in if you log in on the 1st of the month. I think that's fine. That's a fine way to handle it. We could even go even more precise and check, like, is it, early in the morning, like, is it before 8 a.m.? Like, if we really wanted to be like careful about it. Hell, we could even like find the exact time that it should have already fully transitioned between winter and turn it off. If we really wanted to. We could even check to see if the time was at 00. Like, we could do that technically, or within a range, less than 10 or something. If we want to be that. It's okay. I love ads. Sorry, there is a solution for you. There is one way to get rid of those ads. 2 ways technically. You could sign up for Twitch Turbo, whatever it's called, or you could subscribe. Or you can write a letter to Congress and somehow get them to force Twitch to stop forcing ads on people, because it should be illegal to do that, I think, for some reason. Could you imagine a world where like advertising was illegal? Like you had to opt in to ads? I wonder how that would work. Imagine like big corporations like trying to make money without being able to advertise to people. They would literally just have to like rely on word of mouth, and they'd have to just make really good products. Wouldn't that be wild if like corporations actually had to make good products to rely on their customers to like them and then want to promote them to their friends? What a concept. Twitch is broken for me and I am unable to sub to anyone for some reason. It sounds like if you put a support ticket in, they'd probably fix that within like 45 seconds. They'd be like, wait, hold on, what? You can't sub? Let me fix that right now. Calling all the engineers. That is weird though. That sucks. Okay, this is working great. I feel like the really big companies would then just inshitify and push out any new players. I don't think they could, right? I mean, maybe. So enshittification is like, once you've collected everyone you can pretty much collect and you're not getting new like clients, right? Then you just start milking the clients you have, right? That's what enshittification is. So if you couldn't advertise anymore, then yes, probably. You might be right. Yeah, that's a good point. If you couldn't advertise, then like people who are stuck with like, I don't know, Google or like, let's say Netflix or something, wouldn't know that there was other streaming services if they weren't being advertised to. So the only way they could do it, I mean, like, okay, so don't get me wrong. I still think people could still like Google like what streaming services are there, right? Like what are my options, whatever, my alternatives. And I do think there should be places like on the internet or whatever where like advertising could still be allowed, right? Like maybe you just opt into it or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe people just they just make it so difficult for people who haven't opted in that, like, I don't know. That's probably what would come down to it, right? Everyone has to opt in for advertisements, but then all these companies would just say, if you don't opt in, you can't use our service. So it's like, and like, what are you going to do about that? I guess that could also be against the law, because that should be, right? That's pretty scummy, but no, I think you might be right. I think you might be right, because like if none of your competition can advertise, then you know that people are just mostly locked into you. So maybe you're right. Maybe we have to do that in conjunction with breaking up big corporations. I don't know. Clearly, I am an economist and a politician, so I know exactly the best way to handle this. And I would definitely not break the entire economy by making advertising illegal. I know what I'm doing. There's a reason I make video games and not laws, obviously. Anyway, we accomplished what I wanted to accomplish tonight. I'm happy with that. It is 1:15. I've been live for almost 3 hours. What's the next plan? Should we go in and set up our seasonal events? I wonder if this is a situation where we just set up the count, like we just do it on the calendar. I think it is. So we would just say like, oh, let's go look actually. Let's go set up we have a DA event. This one. Let's go to this folder. Let's duplicate this. Event calendar underscore frostfall. We can't do, well, I guess we could technically test this. We could just add in like, sorry, my voice is going out. I guess it's just called Frostfall. We didn't call our map. We didn't label our maps correctly. Nope. Let's do Frostfall portals, I guess. Actually, let's open this level. Let's go over here and say only in current level. Let's double click here. Let's go back to this level. Let's add a cube to the world, or I don't know, platform, I guess, whatever. Static mesh. No, none of these are a good choice. How about this guy? What? Why did that just disappear? Okay, now we're frozen. No. There we go. I don't know what's happened there. Okay. And now we can use the Frostfall portals as our load in for our events, and hopefully, oh, that means we need to put our global event manager in here. That's fine. Sure. Shouldn't have anything else we need to do in here. Okay. So now we go back into... Wait, did we duplicate? Where did our event go? This one. Okay. Active calendar event. Yes. Let's call this Frostfall. Description. A festival for frost. I don't know. Who cares? Oh, we can't call it that. We can't say that. For insider trading reasons. We can't say that. If you know, you know. A festival for winter time. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna rename that anyway. That's kind of ironic that we're using the Frostfall book. Sub levels to load. Event. This doesn't have a map name, so we're just gonna call this Frostfall. I think it was called Portals. Let's go double check. Frostfall _ Portals. Seasons. Only in winter. Weekdays. Doesn't matter. Month days. Okay. So we put 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Times. Just clear that out. We don't care about time. Weather required. Doesn't matter. Global world events. Doesn't matter. Likelihood. 100%. No daily seed. Notes. This is temporary. This is a temporary setup to just be a daily event manager or daily event until we build the calendar system or set up more conditions on the global event manager. Colleen, the author, spawns in Sleepy Haven and requires a copy of her book for her to sign. I guess we can just delete those. Everyone knows what Frostfall is. No one's gonna question this, so that's fine. Okay, we do need conditions. We need to set up our month-day conditions and such. So I think what we'll do is every day at midnight, I guess, we'll do this. I don't want to do more 7 a.m. things, so we'll just do midnight. We'll check all of these conditions. We'll check, is it winter? Or like we'll check all these things. And we'll go through and say, is this active? Is it a calendar event? Is it this season? Is it within these weekdays? Is it with this weekday, or was it within these month days? Yeah, this should work, I guess. That does mean, though, like, we'll add this to the calendar event, and it is going to, yeah, this is going to be a problem. We just set up the calendar events to be randomized, so I need to make a new thing. I guess I need a new Boolean on here or something, that, or maybe we just check the month days. Like if it's a month day, we just add that in that month day after we've shuffled. No, we can't do that. Shit, how do we handle this? We're gonna have to have like blackout days or something. How do we do this? Time for me to head off to bed. Almost done with this new app/game. Hey, congrats, Simon. I hope I get to hear about it next time I talk to you. Have a good night. I feel like the really big companies, like door knocking to advertise games, would be the next big marketing tactic, right? Literally just run around knocking doors. I think this is gonna sound a little scummy, but like my daughter goes to school, right? And all of her friends are the age that, you know, kids like to play games at. I think that schools would be the target. I don't know how you would do it, but I've actually considered this before. I've considered like, how could I utilize like Abby's school as a way to like market my game to get people to buy it? And the best thing I've come up with so far that like is legal, not quite as scummy as other options, and I can feasibly do, is just tell my daughter, don't forget to tell all your friends about Swords and Magic and stuff at recess today. And that's it. 2 main interviews. Yeah, hoping to be done by the end of month. Cool. But been spending a ton of time applying for jobs and interviewing. Hey, that's cool. That's good, I guess. Are you, I guess, I assume you're between jobs now then. Did you, yeah, you had a job last, like, we like really spoke. You were working. That sucks though if you got laid off or something. I'm sorry about that. And I wish you luck finding your next gig. Not gig, career. Your next salaried job. Silly layoffs. Yeah, that's rough. It's weird, but if you run your own game studio, and you're the boss, you don't get laid off. I don't know. I've just been waiting for the layoffs to hit Kindred Games, and I've just been somehow I've dodged it every single time. I will have a job soon. He's going nuts in the moment. That's good. I saw a thing today I don't know if it's any indication of what actually is going to happen, but I saw a thing today where someone said something about, I think it was like a Reddit post or something. I don't remember where I saw it. Who knows? They posted, and it was I think it was IBM, said that posted something about they were hiring junior devs again because they've realized the limitation of AI and decided it wasn't worth using in their thing. Again, this could be totally like out of context, and honestly might not even been IBM that said it, or it might not have even existed. But I did hear that they were hiring because AI was not cutting it anymore for them, so they're hiring a bunch of junior devs. So that's, I hope that's a good sign. I do think the AI bubble is about to burst. I think we're pretty close to it, but that's also speculation. I've also read a bunch of stuff that says it's not a bubble and it's not going to burst. So most companies suck at adopting AI. Yeah, I think there's ways to do it that are smart, but it doesn't mean cut all of your devs. I don't think there's any situation where cutting all of your devs is the move. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to start if I wanted to use AI to like write an app or something, or like a website or something. I guess I'd ask AI how to do it, right? Like where I would start. Yeah, I don't know. If you cut all your devs, who is going to use the AI? Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously don't cut all of them, but you know what I mean. Like I think firing a whole bunch of people who were developing your things before is not the way to go. However, that said, I've also personally met several AAA developers in like big studios making things who literally didn't know shit about making games. Like I've literally like talked face to face with some of them, and when I talk about like anything dev related, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that," or they just don't know anything. Like they don't know anything about it, and I'm like, "How did you get a job doing this?" Like I've even met like artists who are just like, they don't know anything about like how to actually make games, and I'm just like, my mind is blown that they don't understand certain concepts, and I'm like, you're getting paid like 4 times what I make in a year, and you don't even know half what I know. It's crazy. So I do think there is a place for AAA studios to clean house and start over with like developers who actually know what they're doing and have actually like cut their teeth on projects before, even if they're indie projects, you know? Because I think there's a lot of devs out there who are just sitting comfy, scraping by and not knowing what the hell they're doing and still making AAA games somehow. So, and it goes to show like this is why it takes like, 5 years for some of these AAA games to come out, because the devs are just slow as hell. The job wrecks are a joke. Yeah. I'm getting lots of people reaching out to me for AI engineer architect roles. Weird. What even is that? What's an AI engineer / architect? Like building AI for that company? Like you're building an AI, like an LLM or something? From what I have seen, it's going to be a big resurgence in 2028 as people hire all the devs back because all the AI initiatives failed. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. It's been one of two things for me. Oh, my nose is driving me nuts. Sorry. I've heard one of two things. Either one, AI has a huge boom, and by 2028 or 20, I think it was like, yeah, I think I heard this like a couple of years ago too. So it's this 5-year span that they've been talking about. It just keeps getting pushed back. But I've heard in the next 5 years, this is like your last chance to like get rich or like get a job somewhere or like get into like whatever, because within the next 5 years, AI will have taken like everyone's jobs, supposedly. I've heard that side of the coin, and I just don't think so. Like, I just don't think that AI is going to be, cleaning up like the dog poop from my backyard in 5 years. I just don't think that's going to happen. There's still going to be jobs. You know what I mean? Like, they might not be jobs that people want because like, AI is already doing all the fun coding and like art and like creative jobs that we all want to be doing. But there will still be jobs somewhere, for humans. And on the flip side of the coin is it's going to burst, and AI will just become similar to like texting. You know what I mean? Like every phone will just have like just like it has like SMS texting and video chat and things like that now. An AI LLM is just going to be a thing we just have, and I'm fine with that. Like I think LLMs are useful as long as people are using them the right way. I think video generation, text generation, or image generation, I think that stuff's cool as long as there's like restrictions put in place. Like we need some guardrails. But however, I just don't see like AI taking everyone's jobs in the next 5 years. But as I think I'm very much leaning on the other side of the coin where this bubble is going to burst. People are going to realize we don't need 1,000 data centers around the whole, country, the whole world. And then we're suddenly going to start hiring people again. I trust that opinion if it wasn't correcting people's AI gen code in PRs at work all the time. Yeah. AI can be done right, and that is what an AI engineer does. Fair enough. But there are very, very few of them out there. Much more advanced than that. Oh, okay. There are always going to be jobs, just maybe not some of the jobs that should have been gone long ago. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I know this has been said a million times and it's easier said than done, but like the meme where it's like, I don't want AI to take my, creative writing and art jobs so I can spend time doing my dishes and cleaning my house. I want AI to clean my house and do my dishes so I can spend time doing creative jobs, right? And I don't know, like, I think when that gets solved, when like we have like AI robots that can actually like, walk around our house or drive around our house or float around our house, whatever, and actually like do the things we don't want to do, that's when that's when the AI boom will happen, right? I think we've had an AI boom already, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that's when people will be like, yes, we need this. Like, please, like, how do I get a robot to like do the shit I don't want to do? To like cook me dinner and clean like my house and do my laundry and mow my lawn, and I can just do the things I enjoy doing, Too many idiots out there using these tools. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Anyway. Okay, we built the frostfall thing. We're definitely gonna run into some issues with this. I don't know how we're gonna do this because we're shuffling. I don't know. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I think I'm gonna think about this. I think we might call it a night. I might go to bed. It's 1:30. Cool. All right, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you. I don't think we're gonna raid anybody. I think we're just gonna end the stream because I don't want to get stuck talking to someone for half an hour after we raid, which is what always happens. So anyway, you guys are welcome to follow if you want, subscribe if you want to support me and to not have to deal with ads. Check out the Discord, check out my games on Steam if you are interested in. That's not the right button. Yeah, it is. That's the right one. If you want to wishlist those or purchase Swords of Magic, you can, or play the demo. On either of those games, there's a demo out. And I will see you guys next time I stream, which I do not know when it is. I'm sort of like reinventing my schedule right now. I don't know. It might be Thursday, but I don't know. We have a bunch of stuff going on for the rest of the month too. It's been pretty hectic. So might be more late night streams like this because this is the only time I actually have where I can sit down and do something. Because we don't have dentist appointments scheduled for midnight, luckily. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I always push the wrong button. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. Bye.